Hi there and welcome to the channel. Back with some more Blacksad Under the Skin. This is our part 4 of the Let's Play, if it will work. The first two parts obviously ended with crashes. The game's riddled with bugs and crashing, but hopefully we'll be able to get past this part that I've yet to be able to get past. For those who are just joining us and who are new, haven't watched any of the other parts, the game has not let me past this part I'm currently at. I've restarted the game 3 times, got to here, and it hasn't worked, as I filled people in the last couple of parts we did. So I did try this I did try a test of this a wee while ago, and it did work to get me past this part. So we're hopefully resuming from the part where we left off, and we'll just jump right in, and hopefully we'll be able to get past this part. Because there's two parts here. There's Jake at the punch bag and there's the phone in the corner, and it seems to crash at both in different ways. When you use the phone, it crashes in the loading screen, loading into a bit afterwards, which hopefully you'll see in a minute. And if you go to the punch bag, it does this really game breaking glitch where it doesn't let you leave that cutscene. So even when you quit the game and load back up, it auto loads you as if you're still in that cutscene, but you're not in the cutscene, so you can't leave the cutscene. It's very, very strange. So you might see one or two of those glitches right now, or you might not see them at all. Hopefully we will get past all of that. Right, so enough of the rambling, and I apologise for rambling a little bit there, but here we go. So we're going to go straight to the phone. And we'll see. Hopefully this works.
Smirnoff.
I think I have a new lead on the Dunn case.
What did I do here? Right, okay.
I found racial slurs painted on the lockers at Dunn's gym. He was pretty open-minded about racial issues. Maybe his death had something to do with that.
John, half of the crimes in this city have racial ramifications. Unless you have solid proof that it wasn't suicide. My hands are tied.
If you can hear that whirring in the background, I apologise. It's my PlayStation. It's really loud with this game in it for some reason. It's not usually, but it is quite loud when I play this.
I went to Yale's place and ran into O'Leary's men. They were waiting for him.
Ah, well, it's only normal. They run an illegal gambling operation. If a fight's canceled, they lose money. I'd love to take a swing at O'Leary, but we can't base the case on a hunch.
I'm not finished yet. I think I have a new lead on the Dunn case.
Right, so you don't want to tell them about Jake.
Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get married.
Great. Call What's News. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Now if this works, it'll load into the cutscene in the diner, but where it usually crashes is just when it gets to about 98%, 99%, the game just blue screens. But hopefully that doesn't happen this time. Because as I've said before, I've hypothesised that it's selection based. If you choose the wrong options, it doesn't work. Changing what you chose slightly seems to help, and it seems to have worked here because that's auto saving. So if you follow those options, it should maybe help you get by that phone conversation. If you follow what I picked, and I'll show you in a few moments why that phone getting into this phone conversation is quite as important.
Like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music. And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
Again, I'll do what I did last time. I'll play this for around 35-45 minutes-ish. Try and keep it a short Let's Play.
You look tired, John.
try that.
You look pretty tired yourself.
Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you alright?
I've had better days, and I'll have them again, I hope.
We both deserve to. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You said you were starving. Why don't you go to the counter and order something?
Hmm? Yeah, sure, good idea. If you'll excuse me.
Right, so getting to this conversation is quite important because there's a mechanic in the game called deductions, which I'll show you in a little moment after we've done all this stuff. But it allows you to make the deductions, and there's 2 quite important clues, at least for the part of the story that I know of so far, as far as I've got really.
Interesting.
Yep.
Now that I think of it, I better eat at home. It's healthier.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now... Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
Sure, you can trust me. I give you my word.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Friend, you can count on it.
Take care, John.
As always, Smirnoff had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite.
Right, so I've not actually looked out here. This is as far as I got. I know what deductions I can make, but when I make the deductions it'll take me back to the gym.
I know you're hiding something.
What?
I know how much Dunn meant to you. I'm very sorry for your loss.
I don't think I...
Your handwriting on the envelope. Your date of birth on the safe.
My goodness. I can't talk here. My shift is over in 10 minutes. Can you wait a while?
Can I get a refill over here, Mary?
Coming right up.
So I've never done this bit before, so that's interesting. All I was expecting to do was explore the outside of the diner bit there, but I guess we'll need to do that another time.
angel Joe Dunn found in his golden years.
We'd been seeing each other for almost 2 years. It all started with... well... weekdays I start cleaning the gym at dawn, before my shift at the diner. Joey always came in early, just a little after I got there. He used to say it was the best time for the worst task of the day.
Oh, I know exactly what he meant.
Paperwork. He just hated it. But that was just him. Instead of putting off the things he couldn't stand, he did them as soon as possible. One morning, he saw me crying. I was having a rough day and...
He tried to make you smile.
He pointed at the coffee machine. You need a cup of joe and some fresh air. That was the first of many cups on the rooftop.
Which is where you seduced him.
I'm a decent woman, Mr. Blacksad. You might be too young to understand this, but real love has little to do with seduction. One day, we realized those rooftop coffees were the best part of our day. So we began to spend more time together.
But you never told anyone. Why did you keep it secret?
For Sonia's sake. She and Joey drifted apart after her mother's death. He was afraid that our relationship would only make matters worse. Until one day, on the rooftop, we realized just how serious our relationship was. And we decided to turn those moments into a lifetime.
So he asked you to marry him?
Yes, of course. He gave me the wedding ring and we decided to tell the world. He said he needed to share that happiness with his little girl. Turns out, he wasn't that happy after all.
What about Yale? Wasn't he like a son to him?
Maybe you already noticed, I have a slight cold. I really should be heading home.
Thanks for sharing all that with me. Take care.
I lost my scarf a while back, not sure where. And now, if you'll excuse me, that's my bus stop. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Blacksad.
Oh, lost the scarf. Interesting. I'll make these reductions then. Okay, so if you didn't do the bit at the diner with the police chief, you would never have got the clues to finish these off, which is why I wanted it. Because you learned that not only did you learn, should I say, that you had the 4 net marks, that which will tie in nicely with, where is it? That. Oh wait a minute, this is the wrong thing. It's that one. And that one. And this takes me back inside the gym. Or not. Oh wait a minute, here we go.
I'm much taller than Dunn. And I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least.
was the other one. Oh no, wrong thing. What did I press? His knuckles are swollen because he punched the paint can there, so.
Alright. Dunn punched a paint can, but why? Wasn't he calm and composed?
Now I have absolutely no clue what the other deduction is. That's as much as I got. Right, so... there we go.
Bobby Yale. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon.
Oh. I know what this is. If you want to call off the fight, I would think. Oh, okay, we'll try this one. No. Motive behind his murder.
Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
I couldn't say. In my line of work, you really shouldn't jump to conclusions.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck. It all leads to him. In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
O'Leary.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
I'm afraid I have to say no. I can't ride in a fancy car with a wrinkled suit.
Oh, I don't see why not. In any case, if those little wrinkles make you uncomfortable... I always play it nice and safe.
Okay, this should be interesting. I have no idea what's about to happen here. Apologies if you can hear me drinking here.
Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
I don't work with criminals like you.
Oh, I didn't expect you to play the morality card so soon. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
I can't really say.
Well, I can. Nothing. But I'll tell you what is wrong. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country. A place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, I'm not either.
Ha! Well then, you see, we're all among friends. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
All right, I get your point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey. Anyway, think what you want. But when you hear just how I've transformed this business, you'll know I'm right. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first. But when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
It was just Wilson.
That bastard. Don't you worry. I will have a serious talk with him. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please, accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. You see, a lot of people work for me. Many families depend on my business. Not only that, St. Christopher's Hospice practically lives on my donations. The widows of my late employees are set for life. Their kids get free schooling. The cops leave me alone because they know my business doesn't hurt anyone. On the contrary. And, it looks like we're here.
Wonder where he's brung us. If I was to bet, I'd say maybe. I was going to say
Yale's apartment?
But okay.
I told you, I'm on your side. Go ahead,
Hey,
search the
trophy.
place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, maybe you'll change your mind and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Wilson, come here.
Okay, let's have a look around.
A woman's fragrance. Almost angelical.
What's the money on that being Mary's scarf? Yep.
I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know.
Is there a turn up for the books?
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Can't say this is the ideal drink for an athlete. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch.
Alright. Hall of Fame card.
Ugh. 17th century French fables. Mayor must be one boring old lady.
Didn't see anything else there. Okay, I guess that's what it says is. Enter at own risk.
Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? Why would you want such a big closet for so few clothes? Unless you're a bachelor, that is.
That's the wrong option. I should have said somebody took the clothes because obviously Mary was living here with them.
Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Nice chain. So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby?
Not a lot in here. wiki page is starting to come along a bit. Look at this deduction and stuff we make. If it helps in any way. Where the hell did you get one apart from?
That means she's been here recently. But why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale, the murder suspect? Okay, that's sneaky. So I know Mary's lying, but other than that, it feels like I'm missing something in here. That again. So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby?
maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I thought maybe there's something going to be something else in there, but
When I left, I told O'Leary I hadn't found a thing. The minute I was alone, I left for Mary's. But before all that, I took a small parting gift for her. I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise? When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
How did you open the door to his apartment?
I think it was already open. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. Do you realize you might be protecting a murderer?
What? I'm not protecting anybody.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I know you were cheating on Dunn with Yale. Or was it the other way around?
No. How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Blacksad.
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama? Segregated schools, bathrooms, housing and healthcare, and colored people get the worst share. We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That crap.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I'm black too, and I don't hide it.
Well, at least you're a man.
In any case, what's that have to do with Bobby Yale?
He's my nephew, Mr. Blacksad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The 3 of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. You should have told me this sooner.
I've been hiding it all my life. I'm sorry.
Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven. So I can't identify any other fragrances.
Must be one other fragrance. There's 4 things to find. Oh, I bet you that's one of the books shooting it there actually.
Fresh out of the oven. The whole room smells like pie. TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times lead us?
That's all of them. Let's see.
About Sonia Dunn and the ring. I managed to hide the truth from her.
I appreciate it, but at the same time...
What?
No, nothing. Maybe she has a right to know.
Your secret is safe with me.
I'd like to believe you.
That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Thanks. I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
I'll take some coffee, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth. Sorry, I was going to help you with that.
Just at the entire thing.
Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared. Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog. Mary, when are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew is here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
If he's not here right now, he must have left shortly before I got here. Where did he go?
Shortly before you got here? I wish.
Look, if he's making you do this, just tell me. I'll protect you.
Bobby would never do that.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that. That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Livora.
Mary, please, calm down.
I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone!
Bobby!
What the heck? Not got checked out. Wow, you get literally no time to do that. Can't do whatever it is. I might look. I might see something. Like only I can see the train. It's no zooming in on it. This is horrible. I promise you the controls are terrible for this. Because you get a split second to do this. Let's put me out of it again before I can even do it. You can't even zoom in fast enough. That's how glitchy it is. Because of how long it takes to get to this bit, like you're already... Look at that! Doesn't even zoom in! Like you've got to hold R, the way this works is you've got to do R2 to zoom in on the item. It doesn't even give you an idea of what... Come on. There we go. Eventually. That's terrible, the control mechanism for that.
I'm on your side, Bobby.
But I'm not on yours.
Call an ambulance. Do as I say. Go on, call an ambulance. Do it now. In the face of a heart attack, there's two things you can't forget. One, stay calm. Two, 1 chest compression per second. One Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. 6 Mississippi.
Bobby. Oh, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
So that's why Dunn wanted to call off the fight.
I had lots of reasons to consider this a great day. I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life. And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
Promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead meat, cat.
That you, Smirnov?
You seem agitated. Nightmare?
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Yeah, that makes two of us. Anyway, why don't you go home? In his current condition, Yale's not going anywhere. Besides, we'll take it from here.
Thanks. I think I need to get some sleep.
Yep, that much is clear. As for what happened yesterday, you promised me you wouldn't intervene.
If I hadn't intervened, Bobby Yale could be dead.
If you had warned me, maybe we could have avoided a heart attack. Anyway, what's done is done. When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn? Out of sheer curiosity. I'm a cop after all.
To be honest, I'm not so sure Yale killed anyone.
How about the motive? Any ideas?
I know Dunn wanted to call the fight off after something Yale did, but I still don't know what.
In any case, hopefully Yale will tell us more.
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
She's been through a lot in the past days. Be nice to her.
Of course. In spite of it all, we're not just vigilantes. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it.
I can't promise anything.
Tell the nurses to look at that face of yours. You look like a film detective in his last scene.
I'm afraid this film isn't over yet.
For your sake. I hope you're wrong. You're in charge now, officer.
Okay.
I'll send you relief in 6 hours. Understood?
Doctor.
Who are...
Oh,
detective. Congratulations. You fared pretty well against that kid. Better than most would have. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Do I look like I fared well to you?
Dr. Palmer.
We, as a society, simply don't trust reptiles. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is our extended belief that there's logic to that distrust. that it's natural and well-founded. How's Yale? Is he awake?
Oh yeah. Go check on him before he falls asleep again. Although, try not to bother him with too many questions.
Will this have long-term effects on his health?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack after all.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this. Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift.
Also a bit weird, but okay.
His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's clenching his fist, a sign of contained anger. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying. But that's not the case. Clenched fist, fast heart rate, fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but I'm afraid you'll just have to put up with me.
For now. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
I know Dunn threatened to call off the fight. Why?
How do you know that?
I'm a detective.
That was his anger talking. He never really meant it.
That doesn't matter. Why was he so mad at you? What did you do?
Nothing. Joe thought that I wasn't training hard enough. That I was going to lose.
Seems it's on here. Okay, I think it has indeed crashed. So we'll leave it there for this time. That's the end of part 4. So as luck would have it, 3 out of the 4 parts have ended with the game crashing or hanging. Hopefully we'll be able to pick this up again for next time. And thanks very much for everyone for watching. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. And again, thanks.